So, been meaning to make this video for a while. Finally getting around to it. I have a bit of time now. So this is it. This is my car. It's Toyota Ae86, Toyota 11, 1985, as you can see. It's in this big shed. I'll tell you a little bit more about this some other time, but there's a bit of cosmetic work going on at the moment. So the floors are being painted. Just to let you know a little bit about this car, just kind of show you around. It's white over black. It is a Jap import. It's not an English. It's not an English one. Sunroof model. It did have the electrical digital gauge in it, and it does have these absolutely epic standard wheels that obviously will not be staying on it. So I am on the lookout for brand new wheels. It does have BC racing suspension that is legitimate, and front and back brand new coilovers. Got them on the Black Friday deal, I think it did. Got a full body kit, side skirts, front bumper, back bumper. I think it's Bomex, is that the name of it? So I'm going to show you now what's under the bonnet. I'll give you a clue. Look underneath or through there, if you can see. You probably can't. Show you. Intercooler. And that only means one thing, well, two things, either a supercharger or a turbocharger. I'll give you a clue, it's not a supercharger. So I'm just going to get the bonnet open for you guys now. Just let it focus for some reason. Okay, yep, this is it. So, Sr20 turbo. This car is extremely fast. It is standard. There is no kind of bells or whistles, running on standard boost. Standard internals. The only main thing, obviously, front mount intercooler. And it has this manifold on it that looks like, I don't know what. I don't even know what make it is, but I will be replacing this at some point because it actually melts. My washer bottle, as you can see, is fairly close, but I am going to make a shield for that. Yeah, so just to show you this as well, you wanted to see this. It's genuine BCs. I think I've done like 200 miles on them. You can adjust them, as you know, make it soft or hard. So they're brand new, gone into it. Just kind of an investment gone into it. So just to explain, sorry, needs to focus again. Just explain what this video is about. So I'm going to be doing some videos on this car. I know these cars are pretty popular, and I know lads want to know an awful lot about them. They like seeing videos. I watch YouTube as well, and I see a lot of videos on these types of cars, and I know they're very popular. So I said, why not do one on my car? So just to kind of talk you through on some of the work I'm going to be doing. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a background as well. This is my road car. I have two of these type of cars. I have one drift car, which is outside. I'll show you another day because it's actually raining. I have a drift car and I have this as a road car. So what I'm deciding to do is, because this car is not really being used as much, is I am going to turn this into a track road demon. Basically means is I'm going to set it up that it can be driven on the road, that it can be NCT'd, but at the same time the setup is also going to be there for the track. So just to explain some of the steps that's going to be done. First thing I'm going to work on is a little bit of cosmetic stuff that I've been meaning to do. So the first thing is first, you can see it on the camera here. It's blue, and it's that radiator, and it's absolutely, well, it's an original Ae86 radiator, and for this car. It's not the original one that I had in it. The original one that I had in it is hanging up on the wall back there, which got damaged. And yeah, so the idea is that I want to get a new radiator in here at some point. Got this radiator off Clocko up in County Louth, just as a temporary measure. It's been serving grand, been perfect, but obviously cosmetically it looks rough. I'm going to obviously be colouring up these guys here. I'm going to be taking out both headlights, the grille. I'm obviously going to freshen up the headlights as well. The top of the headlights, you can probably see that there. They're a bit rusty, so I'm going to be freshening them up. Obviously, I'm going to do this area here. The whole, I think it's called the radiator support. It's all going to be done. As well as that, all down kind of this area down here. Just going to show you. So this area kind of down here, that looks a bit dirty and grubby to kind of do with a bit of a cleanup. I'm not going to be spraying it. I'm just going to clean it down there. The only bit I'm going to spray is this bit here. And I'm going to spray that up, going to clean it all up. I am going to take the front bumper off because I think there is another few rust patches down along where the radiator sits down. So I will be doing up that as well. And I'll be doing down here too. So I'll be taking out this intake. And as you can see, you can probably see it on the camera already. It is pretty, crispy and dirty down there. So I'm going to clean up all this area. There's a bit of wire in here that I want to clean up. So there's just a few bits and pieces that I want to do cosmetically first. As I said, I want to do that radiator. There's a little bit up here. For example, these 10mm nuts, they're all rusty and stuff. I have new 10mm nuts that I want to go in, nice shiny ones, just to kind of lift up the car. But you can see there's obviously dirt and mold and stuff, leaves and all, and just want to clean all that kind of stuff up. And that's really it for the engine bay side of things. I would love to do all this now, but I can't because, as you can see here in the shed, there's a problem. This is dry, that's wet, can't walk on it, leave footprints, and the guy that owns the shed, Ryan, he obviously won't be happy if I reverse all his work. So he is doing a bit of painting, a bit of floor painting and stuff like that on it. So for now, this video is really just to introduce it to this car, and I'm going to bring you along on the journey of all the work that I'm going to do to it. Eventually, just to kind of give you a hint, there is going to be a new video on the wheels that I'm going to get for this car. I'll guide you through all that, what type of wheels I get, where I source them from. They will be brand new rims and tires. And obviously, as well, to make this a road track demon, this bumper is going to come off when it's on the track. What's going to happen is there's going to be a bolt-on bumper bars for the whole front of this car that is going to be made up, and the rear as well. The rear is going to be the same. So that's actually that's going to be another kind of project that's going to be done now, and it's going to be ready for when the restrictions here in Ireland are lifted, the COVID-19 restrictions. We're hoping that they'll be lifted now in the next 4 weeks, hopefully in May. And we should be able to go back drifting. And as soon as we are, then I'll be bringing this guy out. I do have a drift car, as I mentioned. I will be selling that car. That car it's a Booter twin cam. It's black with a white. It's white inside of it, sprayed white inside and black outside. And it's completely stripped out, bucket seats, and it's got an Sr20 in it as well. So I will be selling that car now as soon as the restrictions are lifted as well. And I'll do another video on that for you guys. But for now, this is what I'm going to be doing. There are a few more cosmetic ones. I suppose I'll just show you inside the car. There is a full interior inside the car. Some people like it, some people don't. It's the brown. It's the brown. Is the door gone now? It's the brown interior. And it is tacky, lads. It is rough and stuff like that. I know I'm getting all this stuff sorted out. Plenty of time to do it now. But it is a full interior. It's got a QSP steering wheel, Razzo, gear knob, got stereo. It's got everything. It doesn't have the hydraulic handbrake. I will be putting that in, don't worry. I'm going to be putting in the hydraulic handbrake. That's going to be to its own calipers setup, if you know what I mean. So it's going to have the standard rear brakes as normal, but then the hydraulic handbrake setup will be set up to its own independent system as well. I did have a hydro on this, however the NCT didn't like it. national car test because it was piped into the factory brake lines, and of course you need an engineer's report and blah blah blah, and I just wasn't going down that road, so I ripped it all out. It's got a boost gauge that isn't sitting correctly at the moment, so but it is pretty cool. The battery's not connected, but yeah, I'll show you another day. And that's pretty much it, guys. There is some cosmetic work to be done. I'll show you some of that. This car was resprayed about 4 years ago. Not very well. But yeah, so you can see, now this is typical, by the way, on these cars. The bubbling on the, I can't remember what kind of pillar they call this. I think it's the B pillar, is it? That's the A pillar, B pillar. Yeah, B. So yeah, it's got the bubbling coming down here, here, bit of cracking, bubbling. It drives me nuts, but I'm going to be dealing with all of that eventually. But I am going to be starting from the very front and working my way back. Now, in terms of cosmetically, the car is pretty much going to be remaining similar to what it is. There will be one or two things. There will be one or two things that will be done. There will be one or two things that will be done for the drift track. Cosmetically, it's going to be remaining the same way. But as I said, it will have the cool bumper bars and stuff like that for when we are drifting. I am going to be putting in a roll cage, bolt-in one, not a welded one, because that won't pass the test. But yeah, so what it means is by drifting it as well, is that I'm getting use out of this vehicle, because it really is just sitting up wasting away here. So I'm going to be drifting it, I'm going to be using it as a road car. I'll probably be driving it to the drift track and driving it home again. The main drift track that I use, Goldstone in Kilkenny. And I don't mind driving it up there. I have a couple of friends who work at the track, and if there's ever a problem at the track and I need to get towed away, he can just tow me away to his local house and I'll be fine. I'm not planning on getting towed away, but if I do, if it breaks down, I'm secure, you know, I'm looked after. And this is a fast car, lads. It is a quick car, I have to admit. It is very, very quick car. But yeah, more on that at another time. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think there's anything else I should do to the car? Just as I'm looking at it here, probably going to spray this as well, because it is obviously a little bit flaky looking. But yeah, I'm going to do a full service on this car. Obviously, I'm going to get it drift ready. I'm probably going to put an oil cooler in it as well, especially if it's going to be going around a drift track. I also need to, I think I mentioned it there, need to put a heat shield around this piece here. I may take that manifold out of it. As I said, I'm going to get someone to make up that for me, pad tuned. He made up another friend of mine's exhaust, and he done a savage job in it, so I might actually ask him to do it. And yep, that's pretty much it, lads. That's pretty much it. Cool. So hope you like my first video. I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' comments as to what you think about it. What do you think about my ideas? And if any of you got better suggestions as to how I can make this an even better track road demon. The golden rules, as it has to be able to pass the NCT, and it has to be able to, you know, go on the road, but at the same time it has to be able to, you know, perform on the track. And when I say perform, I want it to be an actual weapon on the track. So am I planning any future upgrades on this in terms of engine and performance? Kind of. The car is pretty fast as it is. I do have a full wiring harness and Apex ECU FC commander thingy mabob. Not really good with electronics, not my area of expertise. A friend of mine that owns this shed, he's actually really good with it. But I do have all that set up that I can tune this up. I have the injectors, everything to go with it. I can tune this up for very little money. I probably will go down that road eventually, but for now I just want to get this thing rocking and rolling and ready to go. As I said, the rules are it must be passed, it must be able to pass the NCT, it must be able to go on the road legally, not illegally, It must be legal and yeah, must be ready for the track. So let me know what you think. Thanks.